What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Tech back into the video today, and today the Texas Longhorns beat Wyoming 31-10 at home. Number 4 Texas beat the crap out of Wyoming, but this was not a pour-on until the fourth quarter. In fact, on the first play, or one of the first couple of plays of the fourth quarter, it was tied going into the fourth quarter. John Hyland, or Hoyland, the kicker for Wyoming, made a 36-yard field goal going into the fourth quarter to tie this ball game up at 10. But then Texas scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, an Xavier Worthy 44-yard touchdown reception, a Quinn Ewers 5-yard touchdown run, and a pick six, a 27-yard pick six by Jarion Thompson. 3 touchdowns for Texas to explode this win to a 20-point win for the Texas Longhorns. Let's go over the game. So starting with the scoring summary, this was a rough game for Texas, and especially in the first 3 quarters. They could not contribute on offense, and I'll be honest, this offense did not really contribute at all. Fourth quarter, the run game got going, and not only did the run game get going, but the defense was a monster. The Texas Longhorns did not win this ball game due to Quinn Ewers and his passing, because the pass game was dead compared to last week against Alabama. The run game and the defense is what carried the Texas Longhorns to a win today. This was the first Longhorns game that they've played as a top 4 team in the country since 2010. And the Texas Longhorns, it's going to have been the only games that they'd play in the top 4 this year, because they were very close to losing this ball game, but they got their crap together in the fourth quarter with scoring 3 touchdowns. Let's go over the scoring summary. So on the first drive, Harrison Whaley has a 62-yard touchdown run for Wyoming, and it's 7-0 with a John Hoyland extra point. And just like that, Wyoming has scored the first point to the ball game. But then on Texas's second drive, Bert Auburn knocks in a 37-yard field goal, and it's 7-3. And how about this for the first touchdown for the Texas Longhorns? Quinn Ewers was a 1-yard touchdown pass, but to guess who? Byron Murphy, the second, a defensive lineman, a 1-yard touchdown pass to a defensive lineman. If you would have told me that was going to be the first touchdown for Texas, I would have told you you're crazy. And the extra point is good for Auburn, and it's 10-7 going into halftime. The only score in the third quarter was a John Hoyland 36-yard field goal. It's 10-10. And then the 3 touchdowns for Texas in the fourth quarter. Quinn Ewers, his second touchdown pass, 44-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Worthy. Extra point is good by Auburn. Then Quinn Ewers' 5-yard touchdown run. Extra point is good again by Auburn. It's 24-10. And then the interception by Jarion Thompson, 27-yard interception return. Another extra point is good by Auburn. 4 extra points for Auburn today, and it's 31-10. Game leaders, their quarterback, Savaba threw 17 for 28 for 136 passing yards and 1 interception thrown, while Quinn Ewers threw 11 for 21 with 131 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns. A lot of mistakes out there for Quinn Ewers, but thank God Texas was able to win this game. Rushing yards, you have Harrison Whaley, who had a good game, 18 carries for 110 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, and had a 62-yard rushing touchdown on the first drive for Wyoming. Then Jonathan Brooks, he was the big key to this game for Texas. He had 21 carries for 164 rushing yards, and the receiving yards, Wyland had 8 receptions for 62 receiving yards, while Xavier Worthy with another great game to start the season with 4 receptions for 56 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Let's go into some other stats for Texas. Jonathan Brooks did have another monster game. He was great against Alabama last week. He continues to do that with 164 rushing yards. Jaden Blue had 5 carries for 14 rushing yards for Texas today. Other receiving besides Xavier Worthy, a big guy who was not part of this offense today, but I don't think he played, was the tight end Jatavion Sanders, who was big for this offense. I really do think that was a big part of the way. I think you would have seen a better day on Texas for Texas and on offense if Jatavion Sanders did play. I think they were disciplining him or something by not playing him today. I'm not sure. I think he did. I don't know. I have no idea. But he was either injured or he was being disciplined today. But I'm telling you guys right now, this offense would have been more efficient if Jatavion Sanders was in there, because I know Quinn Ewers loves throwing Jatavion Sanders the football. Adonai Mitchell had 3 receptions for 30 receiving yards. Killian Robinson had 1 reception for 16 receiving yards, and Jordan Whittington had 1 reception for 14 receiving yards. I don't know what's going on with Whittington, but he has not been that great this season throughout the first 3 games. I've expected he was been great in the past 2 years for Texas, and I hope he can get his stuff together in his next couple games against because next game you play Baylor, and then you play Kansas, but then you got the Red River Showdown. So hopefully Jordan Whittington can get his crap together in the next couple games. Then defense, you have leader in tackles for Texas. They had only one sack today, and that was Baron Sorrell with 1 sack. But their leader in tackles was Jade Baron with 9 tackles. Texas did have 5 tackles for a loss, though. How about the man that scored a touchdown, though? I remember when he scored the touchdown, the Texas broadcast group made a joke. Travis Hunter, you're not the only player that can play two-way in college football, but Brian Murphy, who had the touchdown reception to make it a 10-7 ball game, had 2 tackles in this game for Texas. Then interceptions, the only interception in this ball game was Juron Thompson with 1 interception for 27 yards, which was a touchdown for the pick 6. Great game for Texas. Rough first half. Rough first 3 quarters. They got their stuff together in the fourth quarter, but you can't play like that every game because you play a team next week in Baylor, which I like to think Baylor is a better team than Wyoming, not by much, but you play a better team next week with Baylor. It's actually going to be the first matchup that Texas plays in the Big 12 this season. Their first. This is actually weird to think about, but Texas's first 3 games this season have not faced a Big 12 team this year so far. They played Rice, they played Alabama, and they played Wyoming. So no Big 12 matchups for Texas in the first 3 games, but that changes from here on out because the rest of the Texas's games are against Big 12 matchups. I am pretty sure the Longhorns do not have one more game this season where they do not face a Big 12. Actually, no, that is a lie. They face BYU a little bit later down the season, I think sometime in October. But they only have one more game throughout the regular season that they do not face a Big 12 team, and that is against BYU. Use them your thoughts on the game from today as Texas beat Wyoming 31-10. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Longhorns.